Hi, I'm Erin. I'd like to talk to you about how to thread a ring sling. The first thing to do is check and make sure that your stitching is intact. You should have, especially if it's a homemade ring sling, and you're certainly able to do that with a tablecloth and a set of rings from slingrings.com. You want to make sure that you've got at least 3 rows of intact stitching within about 2 inches of each other, to where if one row of stitching fails, there are backup rows to hold. If these stitches fail, these rings fly out and your baby will fall. So make sure that this is intact. You're going to take your hand and put it through the rings. I give myself enough loop to work with, and then simply pull through. Then you separate your rings, and you're going to go over one and under the other. So over the top and under. And I keep my other hand here to keep them separated so that it's easier to pull it through. Next, you're going to make sure that you have not twisted your fabric. You can see I sort of have. It's hard to see on the camera. This loop is crossing over to this side, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to push that over to the side, and now you can see I've got a contiguous loop of fabric there. So I'm going to grab this rail and use that as my starting point to walk my fabric over. I want it to lay next to each other, not overlapping. So I'm just walking the fabric. There's a whole wadded area over here. So I'm just bunching it up next to each other in my hand so it lays nice and flat. And then I'm just going to pull that down taut. You can hear my baby who's just figured out how to talk. Or at least he thinks he's talking. Alright. So you can see that's nice and flat. Nothing's overlapping. It's not twisted on itself. And now you're ready to put your ring sling on. I wear my baby on my left hip, so my rings go on my right shoulder. Where you want the rings to end up when your baby is in the carrier is the rings at corsage position, which is this lovely little soft spot just underneath your collarbone. Now I want to tighten down some slack to where I don't have a whole lot that I need to take out once I have baby. So I've used this particular sling a couple of times. I know that I need about that much. Some people will start with the rings back here or up here because it gravitates down as they tighten. I'm going to show you a trick in my next video on how to tighten down and not have so much migration. Thanks.